Hey, what's going on, guys? Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. I have just returned from a weekend backpacking trip in Boulder Mountain, Utah. So what I'm working with here is the Osprey Levity. No, honestly, it's not my favorite pack that I have carried so far. It's going to take a little bit of a learning curve compared to other packs, but that's kind of the nature of using a new piece of gear and using a pack that is designed for ultralight backpacking. Walking out the door with the pack in hand, ready for the trail. I was at 27 pounds of total weight with food and water. But I want to talk about the items that I did not use on the trip first, because I feel like when you get home from a trip, it's important for you to just take everything out, put it into two different piles, and determine, did I actually need this or do I not need to take this for the next trip? So I've actually got a pretty small pile of gear items that I did not use once on this weekend trip. I've got a pair or a set of hand warmers that they're not a ton of weight, but they weren't totally necessary for this particular trip. I also did not change my socks out for these sleeping socks, and so in a way, sure, I could have left these behind, but it is nice to have an extra pair of socks with you, so I'm likely always going to carry another set of additional socks for protecting and taking care of my feet. I did not use my microfiber towel, and this is the second or third trip that I have not used my microfiber towel, so I'm probably just not going to take that on my next trip. Similar kind of circumstance was a bear rope. I did use the carabiner because Wasatch Will, who I was with, didn't have a full strength carabiner, and we hung 3 bags worth of food on that, so it was nice to have something that could handle that much weight in food. Now for summer trips, I for some reason decide, I'm going to carry a light pair of gloves, and this again is the second or third trip that I've taken gloves with me and not worn them. So for the rest of the summer, I'm leaving that behind, and I'm really going to consider pretty heavy whether or not I carry an extra set of underwear. Let's talk about the other clothing items, moving into all of the rest of the gear that I took with me that I did use. Now, one of my favorite pieces of gear for clothing is these Smart Wool thermal bottoms. These are fantastic. They keep me nice and warm, not too hot, but they are a good buffer when I'm using my quilt or sleeping bag for a little bit extra warmth on those 3-season types of settings. Base weight, mid-weight layer, I've got this QU fleece. This is the 97 Peloton fleece, and this is just a really good lightweight fleece. And then my warm layer, my down jacket, this is the Serum LT from Arc'teryx. You guys have seen this plenty of times before. My favorite down coat for backpacking for sure. My rain shell, my rain jacket is this Hyper jacket from Berghaus. I've had this for a while, haven't been using it because I just have been using a different jacket, so I decided to take this with me. And man, was this a lifesaver on the last day, yesterday. It was super windy, it was cold, it was raining, kind of sprinkling, and this was the perfect thing to pull over my head, protect my ears from the wind, and just to stay a little bit warmer while on the trail instead of having to wear thick layers. All of my clothing items plus a couple other small things went inside this zippered bag that I have to just keep those contained and protected from the weather as needed. Now let's talk about sleep system. My shelter and sleep system specifically, I carried the Lanshan 1 tent. This one's from Meyer, but this was just another opportunity for me to check out this tent, see how it performs, and I really do enjoy this product. It is a great value for what it is, but it's got some big downsides to it for me. I hate the color, and it's just not as roomy inside as I would like. You've got really steep walls that just press down on your face when you're on your sleeping pad, and we'll get into that when I do a full review of this coming soon. But the Lanshan one, it's a great value, and I would definitely recommend it. It just has some downsides for what it is. The sleeping pad is the Axle Air insulated. Now the reason that I took this is I've got a new quilt, and I really wanted to see how this quilt performed with a pad that I knew or know going into the trip is not going to keep me as warm as some of my other pads. So on that first night, getting down below 40 degrees where I feel like this really starts to get cold is below that 40-degree rating. I slept pretty warm, and so I know that by replacing this with a different pad that has a higher R value, a higher temperature rating, I'm going to sleep really comfortable with this quilt. So speaking of the quilt, this is a Bandit top quilt from UGQ. I will do a full review of this after I have plenty of nights and experience with it, but I can tell you straight up that this is a high quality product. I am very happy with it. I recently have been using like the Perea Outdoor Products Thermo Down quilt, as well as the Stormloft quilt from Outdoor Vitals, and I slept cold in the Outdoor Vitals quilt on a insulated pad, and I was plenty warm in this thing. It's got a lot of really great features to it. All right, so moving on to cook system. This is my handy dandy and trusty Toaks Titanium 700 milliliter in a light AF pot sack. I've got a cup from GSI, which you guys have seen plenty of times before if you watch the channel, and then the stove that I carried with a mini Bic in this little black bag that I made is the Soto Amicus. Just trying to get more time with this, and this stove is fantastic. Medkit. I did open it on this trip. I used a little blister patch for a hot spot that I actually developed that I have not had happen for quite some time. Now moving into some of the toiletry items, I carry this Picardin. This is a 2-ounce bottle of insect repellent lotion. Just had a tube of toothpaste and a travel toothbrush from the dollar section. Wet ones for doing the duty, and the poop trowel. Another product that I was testing that even though it says no, you shouldn't be using it above 7,000 feet, is the Thermacell insect repellent thing that attaches to a butane canister, and it puts off a 15 by 15 diameter of insect repellent to keep things away, and it did perform at 10,000 feet pretty dang well. So 100 gram canister of fuel to go with the cook set, as well as to use with the Thermacell, and this is about 4 ounces of additional weight. Not something that I will carry every single trip. Nock Vecto 2 liter and the Hydro Blue VersaFlow did exactly what I needed it to. Gravity system, as well as just filling bottles quickly, and it was plenty of water for where I was at. For the 2 smart water bottles that I carried, a 23 ounce and a full liter, it was just the right system for what I was doing in that. The pillow that I've been carrying lately is the Eros Down Large pillow from Sea to Summit. This thing is super comfortable. I just wish that there was a way to incorporate this pillow lock system that they have onto any pad style that you have, and not just with the Sea to Summit pads. So it does slide around quite a bit on pads, but it is what it is. For seating, I have been testing out and using this BTR stool from Hill Sound Equipment. Man, this thing is awesome. It's telescoping legs, and it just gave a great lightweight option and a way to sit down and eat lunch and not sit in the dirt and where it was super wet where we were sitting. Just a really cool, lightweight 12-ounce product that I'm super happy with. With the tent, I did carry not a trekking pole, but a pole from, or a tent pole that's adjustable from Lux Hiking Gear. This was awesome, and it did the job, and it was the right piece of equipment that I needed if I wasn't carrying a trekking pole for a trekking pole tent. It's heavier than it needs to be compared to like a carbon fiber trekking pole, but that is what it is. Now on to the fishing gear that I have. I've just got a Fenwick 3-piece super lightweight 6-foot pole that went down really easy into the side of the pocket of the pack. This is a Daiwa GC100 spinning reel, and I caught about 20 fish in the little stream that we were camping next to the first day. I've got this Patagonia fanny pack that has a small kit of fishing lures in it. So I've just got this little tin here, and then I've got some other like fishing stuff in here that's super lightweight, but it was a way to be able to carry that while I was out away from camp doing some fishing. Now onto the filming equipment that I had with me and my electronic stuff. I'm leaving this for last because it's not standard things that I will take with me on every trip, but I do make videos of my trips and I do like to add more cinematic type of content to my footage, so I did carry my DJI Mavic Air drone, and I've got the controller for it in there, and I use this Movo phone holder to be able to attach my microphone as well as my phone to it on my Joby GorillaPod 5K. Couple more things here. In my electronics kit, I've got my Black Diamond Iota headlamp. I've got a little lantern from Nightcord. This is the LR10. And then I've got an extra battery for my drone. Then a few other items, a charging cord for my phone, and this is the Anker 10,000 milliamp power core light battery bank. Was perfect for what I needed. The Bivy Stick satellite communication device to be able to talk to my wife and make sure that I'm taken care of there. A cord, mini USB cord to charge my other electronic items, and the controller for the drone to be able to fly that more correctly, more appropriately, and the Light AF roll top ditty bag to be able to hold all of that. And just a few items to finish this off. This is my little bear bag from Light AF. I haven't opened this since I got home yesterday, but I've got my titanium long handle spoon. This is all of the food that I have left, is a little bag of Oreos, some hot chocolate, and then 2 little drink mix things. Here is my bag of trash from all the food that I carried. So that was nice. And the last item is my knife, which is the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. Just nice to have a knife, even though I didn't really use it, but I feel like this is an essential item that you should take with you, regardless of whether you think you're going to use it or not. So guys, all of this gear really made for a fantastic experience on the trail. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. As always, have an awesome day. We'll catch you on the next video.